Hello there, my very good friends. On today's wrestling news, Vince McMahon's last WWE burial has been revealed.
One more match for Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Gonna tell you why Drew McIntyre is getting big backstage praise.
And Austin Theory's transformation on last night's Raw. I'm Adam Wilborn.
Speaking about him like he's on stars in their eyes.
Not had enough sleep here,
Coming
mate.
through the door.
This is the news.
Tonight, Matthew, I'm gonna be something else.
Dark.
Yeah, I'm gonna join the dead. Is that the gimmick? Did I do it right?
There's something like that,
Vince,
I'm intrigued by this. I haven't read this story deliberately.
So, Vince is obviously gone.
Yes.
He's gonzo. He left WWE in July. All of that stuff. Who was the guy who was kind of thinking about burying? Who was he gonna diminish? In these words, right? The words of this report, right? It's from WrestleVotes and Give Me Sport, their collaboration deal. Following something that he saw that he didn't like, which I'll go into. He was thinking about burying / sending back to NXT / that sort of thing. Who was it? Who didn't he like? Who didn't he get? Who didn't he see it in? Who had he soured on?
I mean, I love him, but it's always people like Ricochet I look towards in these sort of scenarios.
Go up.
Up.
As in, like, being presented a lot better on TV than Ricochet is.
Oh, okay.
Being, like, they've done a really good job of this person's push. Like, legit. Roman Reigns, no.
I wasn't expecting. Sammy, yeah, someone like that.
No, similarly good job with the push, same brand. Give you one more guess.
SmackDown.
Really great, like, just awesome every week. Great matches, best WWE match of the year recently.
Oh.
In my opinion.
I don't know.
Gunther.
Oh, of course, Gunther.
Vince
Yes.
bloody buried Gunther had he stuck around. Apparently, he didn't like what he saw from Gunther on the 4th of July when he had a F around segment with R-Truth on Raw. Of course he didn't like what he saw from him. It was rubbish.
It's because that's not Gunther's thing, Vince. I don't know why I'm getting angry. He's gone. That's the main thing.
So Gunther's been on the main roster since April. He's SmackDown, Imperium, all three of them are together. He's been Intercontinental Champion for a while. Great feud with Sheamus. Great stuff across the board from him, really. He's been awesome. But that's what it is. Now, the good news coming out of this report is that Triple H is actually really high on him. So that's no surprise. He sees Gunther as having immense heel potential. He's going to be around for like the next 10 to 12 years. And although his card position may vary, sometimes he'll be opening, sometimes he'll be closing, he's seen as someone who can have a good match every time. So there you go. Positive news for Gunther. But had that idiot Vince McMahon stayed around, it might not have been such good news.
I'm just going to add that to my long list of reasons why I'm glad Vince McMahon is gone. It's looking like Jericho's list in WCW of all his holds.
Armbar.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm surprised by that. Why didn't I immediately think of that? Because let's remember when Walter, as he was back then, came in as part of the NXT team. People were like, oh my God, he's going to wreck dudes at Survivor Series. And I think he lost a chop battle and then got eliminated first.
Yeah, he looked like a wazik. Like, it was just really bad.
It doesn't matter, he would never have known how to present him. He'd built him up for 4 weeks and then gone, R-Truth beat him or
This is it. So, he technically had, 3 months under Vince McMahon's creative, I guess, from April to July. And they were good months.
He tried to call him a Nazi, but
Yeah, apart from that, yes, of course. Pretty obvious thing there. But, the push was, it was all right.
I was never confident in it though.
No, me neither.
Every week, since Triple H has taken over, say what you will, right? At least you can go, okay, he's invested in this talent, so they'll be all right, or they'll be doing stuff for the next couple of months, at bare minimum. Back then, you were like, I don't know. He could just wake up tomorrow and be like, yeah, I don't like him as IC champion anymore, so I'm gonna have, Hornswoggle beat him or something. That was how erratic Vince was in the final days.
I mean, the final decade.
Yeah. Final days is
technically a decade is a sum of days. But 3,000 of them.
Right, shall we move on?
Yeah, let's.
Give me a hell yeah!
Stone Cold ET's here, all right. That's who should have been in the background.
I genuinely
today.
can't differentiate between my Stone Cold impression of
A couple of White Castles.
Cheeseburgers. If you haven't watched it, go and watch Stone Cold ET and then come back.
Especially watch the one where he's interviewing Matthew McConaughey. Weird.
So anyway, Stone Cold, do you remember he wrestled at WrestleMania 38 for the first time in over 19 years? It was incredible. And the fantastic news, according to Fightful Select, is that WWE want him to have at least one more match. Now, obviously, Vince McMahon was probably quite keen on making this a reality as well, but also the new team who's taken over have begun even to put an offer together.
They've offered it.
Well, they've offered him a chance to compete at WrestleMania 39.
Nope.
Or perhaps a Saudi Arabia event, but they're far apart on terms. Basically, you've seen all the footage of him training. People have been like, oh, who do you want to face? Blah, blah, blah. It's the thing that might get CM Punk back in WWE if you really want to get extreme, but yeah, one more match for Stone Cold Steve Austin. How are you feeling about this, Andy?
We should specify before we continue that we don't know the specific event.
Yes.
This is just the belief of the sources.
It'd be one of those two, wouldn't it? It'd be Mania or Saudi.
You'd think so. They're not going to put him on Extreme Rules. Or, hey, live on SmackDown this week.
NXT Deadline just got a whole lot more interesting.
Grayson Waller versus, no disrespect.
Actually, that could like, I love Grayson Waller. He's one of the best things on that show.
That would be fun. Maybe I should have picked a dumber example. Insert one here, because I don't like burying people.
No.
Steve Austin's comeback match was crazy fun. Insane, great, awesome, fun. Do it again, yes.
Yes.
That's all I have to say. It was ace. Do it again.
Who would... Because I've seen people saying, oh, do Cena, Punk... I keep going back to Punk.
Punk and Cena would both be good. Yeah, both be good. But like, Punk... man, it's so chaotic. It's so chaotic.
It's
the one, but it's so chaotic. I don't know. Austin Theory, why not?
So called E.T.
Yeah, there you go. Matthew McConaughey. The Fiend. Hey?
Huh?
Hey? Huh?
What's
huh? Huh? Turn that crap off, said LA Knight. I mean, if they're doing, they're doing the Stone Cold cosplay guy versus the Fiend right now, they might as well do the real Stone Cold at WrestleMania. Hey, he's the guy who doesn't like burying stuff. Guess what I just did?
I love it.
I like LA Knight, but
yeah,
you know,
give me a hell yeah, yeah, give me a hell yeah, yeah.
You know who his influences are. Right, Drew McIntyre is earning huge WWE backstage praise at the moment, according to PW Insider's Mike Johnson. Why? Because he traveled a lot. that diminishes him. But get a load of this crazy report, right? This crazy schedule he did recently. And fair play, this is a lot. I would wither. So recently, Drew had a chaotic itinerary that took him between the US, Germany, and Switzerland for SmackDown branded shows. Then he went over to Saudi Arabia for Crown Jewel. Then he went to India to talk about a movie role that WWE brokered with Sony. Then he went back to the USA, did SmackDown, did a house show, did another house show, and now he's probably asleep.
And he did Sheamus' wedding and all that.
He did Sheamus' wedding and all of this. So a lot of WWE branded business going on there. Basically, that's why people are like, hey, this guy's really committed, he kept that busy schedule, blah, 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 blah. So it's good to hear that people are earning a bit of respect. He's been feuding with Karrion Kross. He beat his ass at Crown Jewel. He headlined Clash at the Castle. Big window for him, obviously, losing against Roman Reigns. Yeah, there you go, Drew. Praise.
I don't know how I feel about this.
Yeah, me too. I know exactly what you're going to say.
Because I get it, and quite right, he absolutely deserves all the praise. That's an insane schedule, like you say, and I think he was quite ill at Crown Jewel as well, and he just soldiered on through that, so all credit to him. This is nothing against Drew. I just don't think in this day and age you should have to earn credit and respect backstage by doing mad stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm not sure there's much honour in being a slave to a corporation that makes you do this kind of schedule.
It's one of those, like, fair play. If you want to do that, if you want to, become effectively the modern day John Cena.
Slave's the wrong word to use there, because it's not like he was doing it against his will. I'm sure Drew was very happy to do all this business, but it's like people who think like working 80-hour weeks is something to be. No, brother, like where's your work-life balance?
Yes,
but good for Drew. I'm glad he's doing well.
Yeah, I'm so happy for him, and when you think back, and I know they lent really heavily on this when he first was getting into the world title picture, and you're like, all right, stop going on about it. But like from where he was to where he is now, like he's an integral part of WWE, and fair play to him. So maybe Andy's right. Have a bit of a balance. Whatever you do in your life, just trust me, it really is useful to occasionally, I don't know, play a game of Pass the Pigs occasionally.
Yeah, we do that all the time.
I love Pass the Pigs, man. Oh, I'll bring it in for the Christmas party, and honestly, there's going to be fights, basically. Right, let's talk a little bit about Austin Theory. It was a bad Monday night for him last week, of course, failing his cash-in for the United States Championship with the Money in the Bank briefcase. But he underwent a bit of a transformation on last night's Monday Night Raw, and now he's really pissed off, basically. He cut this fired-up promo backstage. Dolph Ziggler came in and said, bloody told you so. And he went, I'll kick your ass. And basically he had Ziggler beat in the middle of the ring. And then he just sort of snapped and kicked his ass so badly around ringside that the ref sort of called it off. And then later on in the night, he attacked this guy, Seth Rollins, after Seth Rollins had his match, of course, for the United States Championship with Finn Balor in the main event in an absolutely belting match. And in the end, Austin Theory stood tall after wrecking this dude holding the United States Championship. He's gone a bit darker, unsurprisingly, under a Triple H regime. But I've got to say, I thought we were talking about this on the Raw Preview podcast, WhatCulture Wrestling, wherever you get your podcast from, saying about this is going to be a huge night for Theory because how on earth do you follow up what happened last week? I've got to say, I really liked it.
I think he definitely needed something new, 100% for sure, like dropping the selfie stick and all of that. What did Bob Lashley call him? Little selfie boy or something in the opener, which I thought was quite funny. I like reducing things like that. Like calling someone little is just, it's killer. So yeah, he definitely needed something new. We'll see how it pans out for him.
It was a really interesting thread from, is it Hangman Adam Pearce? I always get confused on Twitter.
Backup Hangman, the legend.
That one. On Theory that I read this morning, I thought was absolutely spot on. Basically, people said, Triple H hates Theory, they've buried him. No, there's an argument to be made that they really like Theory. They just, through the process of, Kevin Owens tearing him apart, Roman Reigns saying your daddy's not here now, and eventually what happened with the Money in the Bank briefcase, stripping everything away from him that Vince glonked onto this character and just have him be Austin Theory from, doing stuff that he did in Evolve and just being, a prick. For excited to see what he does with him.
The Money in the Bank stuff was way too much, too fast for him, for me. Like, he was never going to cash that in successfully. Even with, like, a heel roll-up against Roman Reigns, that would have sucked. Like, who would have wanted to see that? Like, 25 years old, lots of time. Lots of time. That's the key thing with this dude. They can afford to get a few things wrong. I do think they got the last few, most of 2022 a little bit wrong with him.
Yeah.
Now they have a chance to correct course. We'll see if they're successful in doing that, but it ties nicely into our first question. We went to the YouTube community for this one. We'll be doing that maybe once or twice a week going forward because not everyone's on Twitter. Not everyone likes Twitter.
No.
So there you go. Todd Mueller asks, first of all, is it possible that Theory losing the Money in the Bank briefcase is the best thing for him? That case was an anchor around his neck and now he can rebuild without Vince's shadow looming.
Yes.
That's some microphone.
Yeah, thanks. Byron. Yes. He said that phrase last night. There's a phrase albatross around your neck. I don't know if that's an international thing or just a British thing.
Golf score.
Yeah. I do think there's a point to be made there. I don't think that if you were going to draw out a character arc, this would be part of it, but I think this may be the best of a bad situation that they've made on last night's Raw because, like I say, it did bury him no matter what you say.
It was a big burial,
The whole guys, just let it play out. You see, they did have a plan for him all along. It made him look like a massive bellend. Yeah. But I do think, this is going to be really beneficial for him in the long term. But like I say, if I was planning a character arc, I wouldn't have included this in it, maybe. But,
it's not something I would have plotted from start to finish, put it that way.
But I have seen in recent flashes, I enjoyed the match with Ziggler last night. I mean, it's Ziggler bumping around. He's great at that sort of thing. Yeah. And who can't have a bad match against Seth Rollins, which Theory did a couple of weeks ago.
The Fiend did.
Well, granted, yes. But Theory's sensationally talented in ring, and I'm just so glad for a variety of reasons through the stories we've covered on today's news that Vince McMahon isn't in charge anymore.
100%. Our next question, similar again, relating to one of our stories from today, comes from Beast Taker 000.
Oh, good name.
Good name. Who asks, is there a possibility that before Mania we could see Gunther versus Roman Reigns? Or will Solo go against Gunther for the IC title? What's your pick for any of those matches? So just like fantasy push Gunther a little bit here. We spoke a little bit.
I wouldn't have Gunther face Roman Reigns.
Not yet.
Before, because I'd keep that as a match you can have where you don't know 100% Roman Reigns is going to win.
Yeah.
Like, that's a match for... Because Roman Reigns is effectively turning babyface, isn't he? Well, he's a babyface in this role. He has to come out and say, your town sucks, basically. But... Gunther versus Roman Reigns is a big 4 pay-per-view match. I wouldn't just chuck it away on the road to WrestleMania, especially when you've got how many, like 3 premium live events before WrestleMania?
Rumble and
Survivor Series, Rumble, Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's right. That's all they've announced. There might be more.
There might be more they chuck in, and they may want to do certain matches on TV, but yeah, Roman, War Games, maybe Sammy. You and I keep booking Sammy for him at the Rumble.
Yep.
Or Sammy involved in the chamber, and you can do that with with the Usos and kind of like a bloodline, three bloodline, including Roman, and 3 not bloodline. I don't know, but no, I wouldn't do it yet. But yeah, I'd love to see it. What was the other half of that question?
Solo for the IC title. I think that could be really good.
That's tasty.
And you could 100% do. You could even do that at Mania, right? Like that'd be sick. Like the Enforcer versus this indomitable champion they built.
Bare minimum for me, Gunther holds the IC title until WrestleMania, and yeah. Once again, just to reiterate, thank God Vince McMahon's not in charge.
And both of these matches would kick ass, by the way.
Yeah.
Great matches. Final question, bit wider, this one. It comes from Inderjeet Rai, who asks, I love this, if you had to pick one wrestler's career to watch again in the present time, who would it be and why? So take someone's career, slot it into the modern era, you're living through it right now. They would like Shawn Michaels because they weren't watching pre-2007. That would be, the political ramifications, that would be interesting.
And also I was going, Shawn alright on last night's show?
Yeah, we got 2 very different answers, so I'll let you go first.
Well, yeah, it's a great question, this. Thank you for this. I've got to say Bret Hart, because for my sins, I really was not a Bret, or even that knowledgeable about Bret for many years, because I got into wrestling, late Attitude Era.
Yeah.
So he's already gone to WCW. I'm very tribal at that stage, and I don't think I even have access to WCW.
You'd have been like 12 or something.
Yeah, exactly.
It's fair enough.
So I watched WWF when, I don't know who Bret Hart is, but I like this Shawn Michaels guy or whatever, when he eventually comes back. And then my main experience is that classic he put on at WrestleMania with Vince McMahon. And then, do you know what the real turning point for me was? It wasn't even getting into this weirdness, doing this job. It was the Tom McGee stuff. And I was like, I really just sort of, people were like, oh, Bret Hart's so good. And I was like, yeah. Anyway, on to the next thing. And then I got into it. I'd love to watch Bret Hart from the beginning and just really appreciate him, because I've had my eyes opened.
It's a really good answer, because he'd meshed really well with today's high work rate style and all of that stuff. And like Bret in the modern era would obviously kick ass.
Bret versus, I don't know why I've immediately gone to this, but Bret versus Chad Gable would be tasty.
I agree. Bret versus the my answer's Tugboat.
Of course.
No, it's not. I love Tugger, don't get me wrong.
Yes.
But Randy Savage.
That'd
be so much fun, because he was obviously hugely over, one of the biggest stars of his era. But in today's meme video clip viral era, can you imagine how mental some of his stuff was?
Little milk thing.
Yeah, the creamers. The cream of the crop, all that stuff, right? That's a meme now. Can you imagine if someone with his charisma did that on a wrestling show tomorrow? It would be it would just be fun to live through that era of coverage.
Yeah,
and obviously Randy was awesome in the ring, on the mic, great character, unique presence, all of that stuff. He would just be immense fun to live through, and there's no one like him.
You would also be able to buy Randy Savage's cream on WWE Shop.
100%. He'd be in deal with coffee mates.
I don't know how. It's one of those things where you look back and we get to see snippets of it, but we never lived through Randy Savage week in, week out. Yeah. That intensity every week.
Sorry, brother, I was there for his TNA run. I think you'll.
Yes.
Jesus.
And I've watched Spider-Man. Bonesaw is ready. What a legend. Yeah.
Oh boy. Thank you for joining us.
That's great. Today's and finally, because we've got a bit long, I think, go and watch Stone Cold ET.
Yeah, do that.
There you go.
Put it in the background.
Right, let us know your thoughts on everything in the comment section. Like, share, subscribe. Subscribe to What Culture Wrestling, wherever you get your podcasts from, for daily wrestling podcasts. We're going to review Monday Night Raw and look ahead to the show formerly known as NXT 2.0. A little bit later on today.
There's no need. There's no need.
Twitter at WhatCulture WWE for all your news questions and that sort of thing.
We'll do Twitter tomorrow for sure.
And I won't be here, so enjoy
That's why
that
we're doing
for a couple
Twitter
of days.
Because he hates looking for questions.
You can follow Andy on Twitter at
Andy H. Murray. The H stands for Humperdinck.
Ooh, Engelbert.
Yeah.
Nice.
Big Bertie. Quando. It's the only song of his I know. Is it 4 Quandos?
I think. Yeah, I think so.
Tell me quando, yeah, banger.
Eurovision representative, of course, for England.
Would you
UK actually
start a circle pit to Engelbert? Would you crowd kill to Engelbert?
Of course, Engelbert's favourite cover, Get Down with Sickness. Adam Wilborn on Twitter for me.
Ooh, go and do it.
Ooh, ah! Ooh, ah! I can't do it.
I can't do it either. If you got a David DeRayman impression, don't send us a video. That'd be weird.
What does he say when he stubs his toe? Ooh, ah! What culture do
He starts doing that, doesn't he? Have you ever heard? He's got one song that goes completely feel. What's it called? I can't remember. Stupefy.
Yeah.
It goes all over the place. He's a crazy man. Disturbed these days.
Oh boy.
Don't look into that. Oh boy.
At WhatCulture WWE for all of us. Thanks, Andy Murray. Thank you for joining us. Thanks for the great questions from the YouTube community. And we will see you soon.
Consider chin piercings.